Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey.
Hi everybody, good morning. Happy Bringers of the Light Sunday. Got a train going by. There's my lady. Just walking in a different space today that I don't show very often. It's very sublime. A little park, a little bit further out of town, maybe a mile or two out. The sun is up there. I'm going to just do a little intro here. Not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about. I like to come to this little park for clarity. We'll just walk around for a minute. We do have the slow down sign up ahead. Oh no, hold on. Let me try to pull me this way. I don't want you to go over there. Come on. Maybe some completing priorities. Alright. Let's sit down in front of the camera and see what's going on today. April something or another. Oh my god. I think it's the 12th. Alright, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hello friends, hello, and thank you so much for joining me here for Bringers of the Light Sunday, where we're actually having a face-to-face combo that we have not had in quite some time. I'm still going to do our weekly energy short video, but I want to get back to something I love so much, which is sitting down with you guys face to face or ear to ear, if you're on the podcast, and doing our fun stuff that we haven't done in quite some time. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. I'm TAMI Chambers, TLC for the Soul. We have been a podcast and a YouTube channel for almost 10 years now. Almost 10 years now. So I thought what we would do for today is I filmed a little intro for you guys. There was a walk in the park. I actually did that walk in the park last weekend, I think. And some of the sounds that you're hearing in the background are also from that walk in the park. So you may hear something and you're maybe like, is that a spirit voice? It's just me in the video. Here I am.
Sunday morning walk audio.
So, because I wanted to have my own background sounds, outdoor sounds, and that was what I could get right now. So I'll be recording more of those as well, and just having them kind of softly in the background. And this is from that same walk that you saw in the intro. And so what I thought we would do for the rest of our time together is first say, I love you all, and I'm happy to be back. And it was a little windy in this video. I've got my Bringers of the Light Lovebirds cup. This was like a prototype, but I am drinking. Okay, this what I'm drinking has radically evolved. So I thought we would do this little. I'll have a scavenger hunt. So this is for April to May. Whether it be Taurus season is when this will come out, and this scavenger hunt so we'll run from this time. And if you haven't done any of our scavenger hunts on the channel before, then I'm going to go ahead and share with you that in just a second. And then I thought I would come on in another little vignette and do just to catch up with me, kind of a what am I doing right now. And I'm going to save that for the end. So all my diehards that you don't want to stick with me to the very end of the show, you are the ones that get all the like insider stuff. So I'll be sharing what I'm working on, what books are out there, what I'm reading right now, you know, what's going on behind the scenes in the TLC for the Soul world. It's not very much, but anyway, we'll be having a little look at that. So if you're new here, and what I already did before the show, and I like to do it, it's kind of our moniker, is I just wrap us all in love light and light love and invite in the guides who overlight TLC for the soul, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and many TLC for the soul guides that are friends, soul family members that are close to my heart. Step in and help out here as well. So what I thought we would do, if you haven't done a scavenger hunt with us before, as with any of my books that I write, any content I put out there, it's always done with varying levels of truth or intention. So you can take this as just a cute little story that we're going to read, or you can choose to find the deeper hidden meanings in this prose. And for the third, you can actually choose to enter the sacred container of the scavenger hunt and do this scavenger hunt along with us throughout the month ahead, throughout the next 30 days until we hit, mid-May, and see where this leads you. So let me pull this up. I'm going to read it to you. And I would say listen with your master senses, or just listen with a, like, oh, that's interesting. But this actually, last night I was awake, I don't know, between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what is going on, Spirit? And I was like, what is going on with like the crown chakra of people? Like there's some souls that I'm working with, and I was like, wow, their crown chakra is normally not super big, and it just seemed all like blown out of proportion to what I had, been used to when I scan it using the pranic healing. And I'm trying to do more of that, working with my teachers, Master Ko and his teacher, Master Choa, in the energy worlds. And I was like, why are these people's crown chakras and like third eye chakras so big? And I heard like coronal mass ejection, and I was like, what's going on with the sun? And so there was, over the past day or so, like a bunch of solar activity that's causing all these auroras and stuff, and the northern lights and everything. And I was like, man, I was really feeling it. And I was awake, and I started like looking just through some of the work I had done. So I've been channeling books and fiction and poetry and all of the teachings that I do with you guys for over 10 years now. And so I have like, that much of content that's out there. And a lot of times I'll start writing something that I think is going to be a book or a short story or whatnot. And I just set it aside or whatever, it doesn't feel like the right time, or I move on to something different. And I came across this one last night that I channeled in June 2023. And I do say channeled because if you're new, I just sit down and I open a sacred circle around myself. I invite in my guides, and I have, different story friends that I work with, and they're not made up characters to me. They're real beings out there somewhere doing these, living these lives or whatever, sharing these stories with us. And my stuff comes through just like automatic writing. I just close my eyes and I type the words that I hear, and that's all my books. All my ebooks are free to read. Google Books, Apple Books, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere you can find ebooks, I'm there. And many of my books I've turned into audiobooks on my podcast and on YouTube, and they're all in playlists. So you could even download the ebook and listen to I like that read along, listen along thing. I think Kindle has it where you can like download the ebook and then you can also listen to the podcast and follow along. So I've got that for many of my books, and you can just look for the playlist on the channel. There's over 1,000 videos on the channel, and you can find that, and then you can go to your ebook provider and find the corresponding ebook. So I channeled this in June 2023, and I thought it was going to be a book called Pirates of Lemonlock, and I got through one chapter and I set it aside and I never came back to it. So that was 3 years ago, and I opened it up last night and I was like, this is so interesting. I think I think this is the right time for this to come through. And so it's just got 2 little, I'm calling them chapters. I don't know if it will be a book. It's probably just going to be like a little short or something we just use here together and we build off of. But we haven't done a scavenger hunt in a long time, so I'm ready for this one. So I'm going to read it all, and then at the end I might add anything else. And you know, if you have any questions about it, you can always put those in the comments about like, what do you mean a scavenger hunt? What am I supposed to do? Or whatever. You just follow the signs. You follow the bouncy blue ball. And some of the they're not even metaphors. Some of the metaphors I'm using are stuff that's happened in prior scavenger hunts like years ago. The bouncy blue ball being one of them, that the Pleiadians dropped into my field, and I was like, you just kind of follow it along and you find out where it takes you. So this is chapter 1, June. June stepped off the ferry and looked over her shoulder. Good. No one was following her. She'd had the strangest feeling the whole way over from Tessa Lock, like eyes were staring into her mind, or something weird and esoteric, like someone was there who wasn't really there. She waited a moment for the ferry to leave, and then she walked to the town ferry offices and asked about renting a car. She had walked to the ferry from her car and had at the last minute decided not to bring it over. She felt she needed to be incognito for this one. After all, it wasn't every day that one found a treasure map in an old book at the library. Oh my God, I'm going to have to interject, because this right here comes from a scavenger hunt that I did in June 2023. I started the scavenger hunt and I never finished it. And it's because I was looking in the wrong place. So let me keep going and then I'll explain. It wasn't every day she found a treasure map in an old book at the library. It had been folded very nicely and tucked into page 133 of the prose Got to Find Your Way Back Home. The book was a recounting of one man's journey back to his love of farming, but the book had read more like a romance than a love of the land book. Why she'd been drawn to it, June wasn't sure. She'd felt an almost tug to it, pulling at her to climb the dusty ladder in the library and pull it down from the top shelf. And immediately she had turned to page 133 and read, quote unquote, "When I was older, I didn't want to die alone. So I made an oath to never go against my heart. And in doing so, I was led to this land and my forever home. She was like no other, this mistress of the land, and I bequeathed myself to her and swore to never leave her again." A romance for sure, June thought, as she unfolded the paper to find a delicately drawn map and the words, "To find me, you must release all control." What did that mean? But June was up for an adventure. She'd spent a dreary 11 months at the bakery with Fred and Mary Ann, and she needed a break from scones and swooning. Fred and Mary Ann were deeply in love, and this bakery was their service work and mission to the town. But June, who grew lonely watching them, decided to move on with her life. The map had come at the perfect time. After studying it for several days, she packed a bag and made the ferry journey from Tessa Lock to the point on the map that said "Start Here." And so here she was now in Rockaway Point, standing in front of the library and looking south. She was supposed to see something that pointed her in the direction of the first clue, and then she was supposed to mark this on her journal and go to that place in haste to see what she could find there. The map held one clue about what she might find. In the recesses of your deepest love, you will see a brilliance. It will shine and draw you ever closer. This is your first clue. And that's where the channeling stopped from June 2023. And I remember now, it was like, I remember the scavenger hunt. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go to the library and I'm supposed to look to the south and see what I see. So in my town here, I went to the library, and in front of the library's been there pretty much since the town started, like in the late 1800s. And the library has the original like stone statues of like two lions. And I'm like, I guess I'm supposed to like stand next to the lions and look south. And I did, and I'm like, well, I see the town. I was like, oh, it's on the main street in town. And I saw like the bank was one of the things that I saw. And it was like Wells Fargo. And I'm like, okay, see the bank, now what? Nothing, no clue. And so that kind of ended right there. And so I'm like, well, I feel like I'm supposed to channel in the next chapter of this thing and see where it goes. I didn't even talk about the tea, but I will in a minute. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, not even flirting fairy, but flouncing around fairy today, where I'm like, woo, I'm all over the place. This aurora stuff makes you a little ungrounded, and you have to make sure to ground. Chapter 2, this is where a scavenger hunt starts if you choose to accept the challenge and see where it takes you. So this came in last night at 3-something in the morning. All she could see was the bank. Excuse me. The Rockaway Point Savings Conservatory and that funny little building that she hadn't realized had even been there. Had it even been there when she'd gotten off the ferry? It looked oddly shaped and seemed to glisten in the morning sunlight, yet it also seemed to disappear as a light mist blew in off Rockaway Point Bay. As with any good treasure map quest, June decided this was something to explore, so she hopped down off the lion statue base that she'd climbed on to get a better look. The little pop-up shop, the sign read, as June marched closer to the ephemeral storefront. She tried the door, locked, but an envelope protruded from under the mat at the door. The word June was clearly printed on it. June was taken aback, and before even deciding to pick it up, she shaded her eyes from the glinting sun to peek inside the front glass door. The strangest thing, it looked like a woodland inside. She could see a tree and a small clearing that glistened with a magical light. And beyond the light, she could see someone waving at her. And then the scene faded, and she only saw a desk in the middle of the room with a book sitting atop it. How strange, she thought, as she bent down to retrieve the envelope from under the mat. She looked at the scrolly writing of her name. Someone had been practicing their calligraphy, she thought, as the J appeared to smile at her. The envelope had a scent of what seemed to be men's cologne. She slid her finger under the wax seal, but before she broke it, she noticed the markings of the maker. JLS, it glimmered at her, in some far-off iridescent hue that she thought seemed oddly familiar. And it had that same expressive writing style, with the JLS appearing to beckon her. The envelope had a pink slip of paper inside, and that same lilting writing style. June, it read, I have come to take you on an adventure. Do you have what it takes to find me? For the next part of this quest, you'll need a bicycle, an offering, a wand made of birch, and your best behavior, for you will only see me with a true intent in your heart, a magical mindset, and your fairy wings. Yeah, don't forget those or you won't be able to get in. Signed, your partner in magic, JLS. June wasn't exactly sure what to make of this message, but she had signed up for this adventure, so she decided to see it through. She placed the envelope in her fairy pouch and turned her gaze towards the center of town. Lovebird's Bikes was her next stop. She needed a sturdy bike if she was to quest about town and who knows where else in order to get the next clue. That's where we stop. So, do you choose to accept this challenge, this scavenger hunt, this quest from JLS, whoever they are? You could be your own JLS who has different initials. We don't know who this JLS is. We don't know what the quest is, but it is time to get the bike back out, and I am working on my bike again. Maybe I'll show you that a little adventure. And I did find actually I didn't find it. A birch wand found me the other day and said, I'm your new wand. And cut it somewhere downstairs charging. So I'm going to take this quest, and maybe you'll decide to take this quest with me. And my intent is next Sunday to bring in the next clue by the chapter of Lovebird's Bikes. Or, like I said, you can just be like, this lady's crazy. I'm just going to see this as like, maybe I don't have what it takes right now to be that magical. I'm just going to see this as a fun story, which is certainly fine too. I tell you, imbibe with whatever magical level you feel comfortable with. I'm all in right now. So this to me is a calling from whoever JLS is. And just like so many other shorts that I post on YouTube and on Instagram with my fairy portals and my what is it that I call it? I forget what I call it. Oh, my ordinary reality timeouts. These are all, if you want to go there, these are actual magical spaces, portals somewhere, and you can actually play in these realms and see what happens. So that's your choice, how you want to, how you want to partake of this. Entirely up to you. But I'm going all in, so I'm gonna let you know what's happening. So that is it for right now. And if you choose to stay with me to the end of this show, then the next time you will see me here, just in the quick little pause, I'll be doing some little just behind the scenes catch up with some of you who have been with me for quite some time that are probably like, where has this girl been? Where is she gone? And what is she up to now? So we'll see you all again soon in just a few minutes. Hello friends, hello, I'm back. And I thought we would have a little just chat. If you've gotten this far in the show, then I thought we would just do a little catch up kind of the month, of what I've been working on, what's out there for you as resources from TLC for the Soul, where you can find me, just all that good stuff. So in the first, in the part previous to this, where we were doing the scavenger hunt, I was drinking a tea and I was like, oh, I didn't show you guys the tea, so I wanted to like bring it up. And it's just that particular tea that I'm drinking is, this one is so fun. It's the Harney and Sons strawberry milkshake, oolong tea. Strawberry milkshakes are fond memories to many of us. Here's a healthier way to enjoy a part of them. So what I do with this one is I get the tea and I brew the tea, and then I put some agave syrup, and I put some soy milk because I have to do dairy free, and then I put these Jet Puff fruity marshmallows on top for spring. I mean, it's like the aesthetic, right? It goes together. So that's what I was drinking yesterday. Today I have a different one. It's a peach, because I recorded that yesterday. It's a peach, bright peach tea by Yogi. Anyway, what else am I working on? So I thought I would just share a few little updates, and then do a little quick little intuitive read for all of us here. Like I said, if you've gotten this far in the show. So what was the last holiday? Oh my word, was it the spring equinox? I did publish Starstruck, like I was sharing with you. This is how it looks on Apple Books, the ebook. All my ebooks are free to read. This is the 5th book in the Bringers of the Light series. I wonder if it will come up if you do that. This is Pinky and Meggie Starstruck. That's the cover that I designed. There's the book. But anyway, that's out there, and the whole audiobook is also out there on YouTube and on the podcast. It's in a playlist called the same thing. So I think I mentioned this the last part, where you can download the ebook for free and then have the audiobook maybe out to the side. If you're one of those that likes to follow along, I kind of like to do that sometimes. So that's available. My plan is on Beltane to every other holiday. I'm going, so like Beltane, the summer solstice and all that. Every other one, I'm going to publish something shorter. So that, I don't remember how long it was, but I'm going to do short stories in between. So I have Hive Magic that I'm working on. It's a little short story I wrote 2 or 3 years ago, but I never published it. So that will be coming out on Beltane. What else is going on? Not a whole lot. I've been diving into, it's all cut now because I've been using it, but one of our beautiful little Bringer of the Light family a while back sent me the Pagan Chronicles. It's a little newspaper based out of Utah. It's very cute. Anybody can subscribe to it. You don't have to live there. So I finally got the subscription I wanted to get to it. It does also come out only on the Wheel of the Year holidays. This is the Springtide 2026. So I've been reading this, and I'm seriously considering. There's so many allergies. My throat is so scratchy today. There's a big windstorm happening right now, and it's blowing this way at the house. So all that wind and all that stuff is coming in. But I'm seriously considering, they're asking for contributors, and I'm considering contributing something to them and seeing if maybe I can publish with them on a regular basis. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm not a right fit for them. They don't really want fiction stories, but hey, we know how to tailor something to meet the needs of whatever audience is out there. So that's something to do. And I've been publishing every Sunday on YouTube and on Instagram, the Bringers of the Light Sundays, just a short to look at the week ahead. So those are out there. And I just started doing something fun on Instagram. I don't know if it's going to be every day, but it's called the Daily Scribbler. It's just where I wanted to practice my handwriting a little bit more, and I wanted to leave like little notes for my son and little notes for myself down in the kitchen. And so I just got the pad, and so I just intuitively, like, we have sometimes like word of the day or a little drawing, a little quick sketch of the day, just very informal. But it could have messages in there for you. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my Instagram account. Everything at TLC for the Soul. Links to everything I always talk about are always in the notes of wherever you're watching or listening to this. So there's that. And like personal world, like nothing exciting. Same old thing happening, just trying to work on my books. The next big book I have planned, I can't remember which one it is. I don't know, but there's another big book I have planned for the summer solstice. I don't know, my schedule's over there somewhere. So I'm in the personal world, in my fairy world, it's time to start planting, right? So it's like April, mid-ish April here, April 20th, I think it's today. And we are still having frost. We still had a little bit of snow yesterday morning. It's still gonna get cold. I think our last frost is mid-May. That's when the trees and stuff finally bloom. So I bought all these seeds. I'll have to show them to you guys next time. Maybe we could do like a planting video. And I've been waiting to plant the darn things, and I keep putting it off and putting it off. Maybe it's because I want to film it and have something fun to do with you guys. So I bought some really cool seeds, and I will, maybe in that episode I'll share where I got them from, because they're like all heirloom seeds and they're really cool. So that's something I have planned for us coming up. And then Baby Blue, the bike I started working on last year, my Brompton, I never really rode it last year, so I bought some new tires for it. Some Taurus tires. They're yellow. They don't have inner tubes. They don't need air, which was my biggest concern about riding my bike, is what if I get a flat somewhere? What if I can't change the tire or whatever? Because I want to ride out more rural and maybe film some of that for us. So I've got some new tires I need to install on the bike. So maybe I'll show you guys that if you care, if you care about these little things in the world of, of me. And I don't know, that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. I started a new card deck, and I looked at my website and I was like, holy moly, my website is so outdated. I'm like, does anybody really look at people's websites anymore? I don't know, but I realized I seriously need to clean mine up. If you're newer here and you stay till the end, I've published, Starstruck was my 16th book that I've published. I have over 10 Oracle card decks that are available through the Game Crafter. And I was like, I want a new card deck, although I don't know why I totally like cleared out so many card decks and so much like overstock of stuff. And the Game Crafter is a print on demand. So if you order a deck through the Game Crafter, it does take like a week and a half or so for them to print it and then get it sent out to you. But I've got those decks, and I'm like, I want a new deck. We haven't had a new deck to play with here on the channel. One of my own that I create, in addition to the one, the commercial ones and the indie ones that I use from other creators. And I don't know what it's going to be. Oh, that's right. That's what I'm working on for the summer solstice. It just came to me when I thought about the deck. I'm working on a follow-up to the Bringers of the Light Tessa Lock series and the Forest of the Forbidden Bears. If anybody, I know some of you followed the Rose of San Juan Capistrano story where we went to Whistling Gulch and the Forest of the Forbidden Bears. And so, I'm getting so many chills. So I'm writing a new book. I'm channeling in a new book to take place with some of the bears of the Hidden Foot Tavern, and Heather Happenstance, who is our girl about town in Rockaway Point, who reports and does little weird shows for the WBAT 44 AM radio station in the lighthouse there. And the book is called The Werewolf of Whistling Gulch, and that I have on my schedule to come out around the summer solstice, and that will also be a longer book, and we'll do the audio book and everything. So that's all that I have in my world that I think would be pertinent to you. Today's number that came out in the cards for me was number 3. So I thought this time, instead of a card, I would pull from my little Procreate gallery of, this is where I create all the art for my book covers and my card decks. And I thought I would just close my eyes and see what messages, those of you that made it this far in the show, what's some little message maybe to boost your day or to help you have a more magical moment. We all need that. So let's see, so it's number 3. So I'm closing my eyes. I'm just gonna scroll 1, 2, 3, and put my finger down. Oh, we got Mother. Okay, Mother is a card from my Force of the Wolf deck. So it's all about the divine feminine energy, compassion, softness, grace. She just has those little compassionate, like, mother loving eyes and that big heart. So, and I would say with the pink, she's got pink and she's got gray in her aura. So I would say there, have some compassion with yourself. You may need an energy cleanse, and we do have planned, we have over 1,000 shows on the channel, and we do have a playlist for emotional clearing videos and some of the shamanic drum journeys and the vision quests. But I need to, on a regular basis, start bringing you guys more of like the emotional clearing and prosperity healing, emotional healing and prosperity healing type videos, so that we can continue to stay up to date and have fresh content, and continue to remind you all of some of the teachings that my teacher teaches me, so that we don't forget who we are as souls in a physical body having a human experience. So that is all I have for you guys. I hope you have an amazing whenever you find this, and I wish you all just so much love, and I will see you all again soon. Take care.
This episode was brought to you by Lovebirds Bikes, Rockaway Point's premier bike shop. Get your bike ready for a spring fling ride out to the moors, to Tessa Lock, or somewhere in between. Bring it in for a bike tune-up today at Lovebirds Bikes. We've got all sorts of bike fun for you to have it just your way. Take care.